It's an oldie but a doozy. This poem is called My Poetic Voice. For barbarians everywhere. I found my poetic voice through bitter, vile, acrid rage on poetry stages from San Francisco to the Poetry Slam disco. I found my poetic voice unreadable, crestfallen, dank, and dusted in the dim, dark doorways of alliteration, onomatopoetic and pissed off with the neo-beat Brett Kerouac wannabes. My poetic voice was wired shut. Thankfully, behind the bleeding hands of the wounded sturgeon at the T.S. Eliot Memorial Hospital, out of my mind on morphine and speed and odwalla and crack, my poetic vice was deployed on a million non-poetic job sites with the boneheaded idiots of the Rush Limbaugh Society laying brick and copper and rebar with machinery from the Big Four, quick and easy can-do tool masters. My poetic voice was nailed 3 inches on center, 10 in the field if you're a carpenter. Now what seems to be my poetic voice is echoing through the halls of City Hall that are corrupt as shit and drip with hell and crap like Trump himself. My poetic voice is a poetic business of poetics, a carrot before the salad bar's shredded voicemail, and eternal ass-kissing nonsense. Neutered before it had the least interest in sexual politics back at New College. My outgoing message is seeking a second opinion before sinking quietly to the bottom of psychiatric seas. My poetic voice was found making friends in very low places, climbing social ladders before your very eyes. My poetic voice is a turbo-caffeinated nightmare of insomnia that wakes right here where it began in this neo-bebop, post-hip-hop, shop-and-drop, spoken, free-written, sucking, fat, napkin. That was for Dominique Lowe and all those who are dead now. Gregory Corso, even more so. Jack Michelin was a washing machine. My poetic voice was strangled by the high-wired axe and the bi-coastal bullshitters splitting and spitting up angel hair pasta over Dina DeLucas. My poetic voice was constipated on the toilet in indecision for inconspicuous consumption of diuretic incestinas. My 4-letter voice, can't really spell, was barred from academia for sexually explicit and unpredictable end rhymes. Ooh! By the academia sluts in their little rut huts, stroking and smoking up 9 holes with little poetry putts, resting on Prozac and pretty cozy Kodak Snapjacks. For Furly-Gaddy out there in heaven, oh, I found my poetic voice high as a kite, with friends reading Stevens and Dickinson and Berryman and Stein. I was told AT&T was my true voice, and then my credit was maxed, my license revoked, my tongue twisted, my tied, my poetic voice was shrink-wrapped in the safe way of intellectual merchandise where it sits right now on a shelf, listening to young girls discussing Heimlich maneuvers and nursing poetic hangovers. My goddamn poetic voice was diagnosed with terminal prophylactic halitosis, delirium, etc. And because this goddamn poem, my poetic voice, like the barbarians that go with it, could go on forever. In extremis, for God's sakes, is anybody listening? It could go on in oh well, to be continued.